Arr!
Man,
Arr!
I love that warm up music that they put in there.
I
That
know it's so
Twitter space
peaceful.
gets me fucking fired up, Jay, for
Let's
Find Your Inner
go,
Pirate.
baby! Here we go. Find your inner pirate coming at you on 420.
Yeah.
Easter Sunday as well. I mean, what a day! What a day!
It's been a day, man. It has been.
Just hanging out. I was got to get some good family time in. Hanging out with the niece and nephews is always a good time. And hunting the Easter eggs. And I tell you what, Drew, I think we got some Easter eggs upon us for today's podcast. I think we got some real good nuggets to kind of give out to the people, and I think it should be a good one. I'm fired up.
It is, Jay. I even have, and I've got a little announcement later. I'm just going to tease it right now, if you don't mind.
Ooh, okay.
Um,
Go for it.
hey, I want to bring some legitimate data to the program here.
All
And
right.
so I'm going to propose a new segment a little bit later. Uh, when we get to principles with Porter, I'm going to
Okay.
have we're going to bring a new professional look to this program here, and I've got
Let's
some data to
go.
bring.
I love it, dude. I love it. I can't wait to hear what you got. Um, we're gonna have principals reporter. We're gonna talk about these quarterbacks today. I mean, what a crop of quarterbacks we got. We have to talk about them before the draft starts. And at the top here, Drew and I think we're gonna do a little mock draft ourselves. This
Yeah,
is the official Find Your Inner Pirate mock draft. We'll do the first 12 picks.
you know,
We'll
Jay,
we'll do
can
those
I?
fucking Cowboys.
We'll end with the Cowboys. Can I, before we get into the mock draft, can I bring up just sort of one thing that I saw there today? It's relevant to the draft, but we don't have it on the docket for today, so I just want to throw it in there
Yeah,
real quick.
absolutely.
There was a story about um, the general manager of the Eagles. What's his name again?
Howie Roseman.
Howie Roseman. He brought up that Dom, their big security guy who famously
Uh
stepped in and got Dre Greenlaw to commit a penalty during a important playoff game. I mean, that's what
huh.
he's known for. That's where Dom really got put on the map in a national way. So
He's a bully.
he is. But apparently, he's also sort of the front line of the draft for the Eagles. So Howie Roseman was saying that there's certain players that we think have the characteristics and the makings of a good football player, and Dom gives us that non-statistical sort of information. He feeds it to us. If there's going to be somebody off our draft board, it's because
Yeah,
Dom said he ain't got the character, he ain't got what it takes. He's
doesn't
not
have
going
his
to be
inner
a leader.
pirate. Doesn't
What an
have his inner
interesting
pirate.
what an interesting way the Eagles are doing it. And I have to say, man, they've got a damn good team over there. So Dom, he's doing pretty good, I'd say.
Big Dom, man. I mean, what a job description he has. I
Right.
don't even know if he can put it into words what he brings to the table for the Eagles. I mean, I'm sure he is just a good vibes guy at practice. And on game day, like you're talking about, he's going to go above and beyond for the team. He's going to do what it takes within the rules, but kind of bend the rules a little bit.
Right.
And
Push
I
them.
think, and that's what you got to do in the NFL sometimes. You got to bend the rules because it's a competitive league. Everyone's trying to one up each other. So shout out to Big Dom,
Shout
man.
out to Big Dom and really the Eagles. I look at the Eagles as the Eagles are the team in the draft that really stands out to me
Uh
because
huh.
I don't know what they're going to do because Jay, they don't have any needs.
I know.
There's no glaring need on the Philadelphia Eagles.
They're
And so
just stacked.
I kind of look at them as a team that shit, they might jump from 32 up to 22 if there's a great player that falls. I feel like they're going to be this cobra in the weeds that might jump up and get the and right when they get a player this week, right when they jump up and get somebody, we're all going to say, "Oh my god, how'd you let that guy go to the Eagles?" I
Yes,
guarantee you it's going to
somebody
happen.
fall like Tyler Warren or something crazy like
Uh
that,
huh.
where he's available at like 18 or 19, and
Uh huh.
yeah, I could see that. That would be crazy if they got
I've got my eyes on the Eagles on this
you
draft,
know.
Jay.
And you're right about the roster, man. I mean, they can go best player available, and I think that's. I saw a clip of Howie Roseman's press conference the other day. I think that's pretty much what he was saying. Was that we kind of just go best player available every year, but especially this year with kind of their raw. I think they could probably add a cornerback. I think a corner would do them well, but yeah, man, you want to get into it?
Let's get into it.
Drew's gonna
Mock
draft
draft.
odds. I'm gonna draft evens. So I'll get the Cowboys to round us out at pick 12. But you kick things off with your hometown team right there in the Titans.
Yeah, yeah. The first pick in the Find Your Inner Pirate podcast. The Tennessee Titans are going to take Cam Ward. They haven't committed
Nice.
to they haven't committed to any other quarterback. It's just obvious who they're going to take. He seems to be the number one guy in that department. But
Yeah,
we'll
it's been
find
all.
out later, I guess.
It's it feels like it's a lock. I know like a month or so ago I saw the odds. He was minus 600 to go number one, and I'm sure
Which
it's
I
just gone down ever since.
yeah,
I got for these guys, Drew. I'm gonna read off their little things that Todd McShay's written on the Ringer draft guide for their big board
perfect.
for Cam Ward out of Miami, and we're gonna talk about these quarterbacks in depth here in the next segment, but we'll just go real brief with these. Cam Ward, rugged, battle-tested quarterback with a strong arm, poise in the pocket, and out of structure playmaking talent. Instinctual playmaking, trick shot artist, gamer.
Sounds like a guy that's going to give Will Levis a run for his money.
Yeah, I think Will Levis is on the bench.
Who you got number
All
two?
right. With the Browns, a lot of chatter about Travis Hunter going here, but
Wait, are
I'm
you
going.
Browns? I
Yeah.
thought oh yeah. Never mind.
A lot of chatter with Travis Hunter going here to Cleveland. But I'm going Abdul Carter.
Mm,
I'm going Abdul Carter. I'm trying to build a dominant pass rush. And I just think that with him and Miles Garrett, they got some good interior guys too. I mean, that just makes them a bitch to play. So I'm taking Abdul Carter.
love it.
McShay on him goes explosive, springy pass rusher who creates havoc in the backfield, an ascending playmaker with double-digit sack potential. Just an elite athlete, and he's by far the best edge rusher in this class. So to pair him up with Miles Garrett is going to be something to fucking behold.
Yeah,
So that'd be something crazy. I think the Cleveland fans, as fun as Travis Hunter is, man, that kind of pass rush would be incredible to
it
watch.
would be incredible. I'd love, just as a fan of football, I would just love to. And the Browns are that kind of team where
Yeah.
they're the kind to beat you with the defense. It makes a whole lot of sense to me, and especially with some of the recent comments from Travis Hunter, sort of, I don't know if I might rather not play rather than a team force me to just play one side.
Uh huh.
So I could see the Browns saying, we don't want to deal with all that.
Right.
We have other plans. We'll just take this superstar, fucking awesome defensive end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I would do, but it looks like they're gonna go a different direction. But we'll find out Thursday. Dude, I can't fucking wait for this
yeah.
draft. I know people have kind of been saying, "Oh, this is a down draft," but I just love it. I mean, I think we got some real intrigue here at the top of this draft. So we'll keep it going, Drew, with you with those pathetic New York Giants. You're gonna you're playing the role of Joe Shane, the worst GM in the league right now.
Well, listen, with this news, let me ask you, Jay, here on the Find Your Inner Pirate podcast draft, are we able to make a quick trade?
We can, yeah, we can.
All right. Well, listen, Joe Shane, he's catching some flack from his son. He's reading the headlines and he says, "I'm not going to screw this one up. I'm going volume because we've got enough holes to fill on this team, and now I've got all these teams ringing my ear right now to try and get Travis Hunter,
Yeah.
and one of those teams
The
is
New
going to
York,
be
are you not worried about the New York fan base just absolutely losing their minds passing up on Travis Hunter?
well, the New York fan base. They're going to say what they're going to say, but listen, right now we've got a solid wide receiver core,
Yeah,
and there's some other really good depth at corner. And so we're just going to play the numbers game and not listen to the hype here. And listen, my ass is going to be out of this seat if I don't nail this draft anyway. So
yeah.
I'm
Okay.
living and dying by the sword here. We're going volume, fill up some holes, make a big pop this year. We're trading the pick. And guess who is ringing the phone? David Tepper says, can't miss guy. Can't miss guy at number 3. Trade up.
Okay.
We're
Okay, I
going
like that.
We're going number 8 to number 3, and we're going to bring a superstar guy. He's going to play both sides of the field here in Carolina.
I love it.
We need him for Bryce Young, dynamic
Yep.
wide receiver right next to Xavier Legette. It's going to be awesome.
Yes. Yes, Drew. I way to think this one out, man. That's a good fucking. I like it, and I like the team you picked, the
Carolina
Panthers.
Panthers, Jay, at number
David
3.
Tepper is just in love with Travis Hunter. You
I bet
know,
he is.
I
I
mean,
bet
this is
he
an
is.
owner's dream getting Travis Hunter. That's who I'm going to go with at pick 3.
Yeah.
Just I mean, instantly just a megastar.
Uh-huh.
Just we've never seen anything like it. I know who there was some GM the other day that said he's the Otani of football, and they better let him play every fucking snap, every
Uh-huh.
snap, man, because he can do it. He did it in college, and it's you. There's more plays in a college game than an NFL game for the most part. So let him do it. I mean, at least while he's in his like first contract,
Yeah.
maybe we get a year or two in, and it's just like okay, he's just way better on one side of the ball, and you can kind of transition. But at least his rookie year, let him prove that he can do it because I think he can. I think he can at least be a really good number 2 and like a shutdown corner. That's kind of what I think he'll be.
And
I
they
don't
just
know if
paid J.C. Horn over in Carolina. They paid him big, so they
uh-huh.
don't need
Yeah,
him to be the number 1.
JC Horn can ball. I love
Yeah.
pairing him up with Travis Hunter.
Yeah. So listen, Jay, you're going to be now at 8. Instead of picking for the Panthers, you're going to be picking for the Giants there at 8.
Okay.
3, 3, we got Travis Hunter to the Panthers. So 4, you're on the clock now with the Patriots.
Okay. Yeah, and the Patriots, their fans are probably a little disappointed they didn't get in on this Travis Hunter trade. They're at 4 because really their dream scenario is Shadur Sanders somehow goes in the top 3, and at least Carter or Hunter falls to them, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. And it's not happening in our mock draft right now. So, I'm taking the best O lineman in the draft on the top of our big board, and that's Will Campbell.
Hmm.
It's not a sexy pick. Some might even say he has to move into guard at some point. But look, we got to protect Drake May. We got to protect him, and we believe in Drake May. We like what we saw in Drake May. We're gonna get him the best offensive lineman in this class.
Hmm.
Um,
Total Vrabel move.
yeah, not sexy, but it is a Vrabel move. And Todd McShay on him says a tall, easy moving left tackle who blocks with a combination of power and grace and can play multiple spots on the offensive line. So I mean, Yeah, even if he has to be a guard, he could be an elite guard. So let's add to the O line. We wish we could have got one of the top three, one of the top two guys on our big board, but it didn't shake out that way. So we'll move it to the Jags at pick 5.
Well, the Jags. Um, I think the Jags had a big problem. They they like what they see in. They paid Trevor Lawrence already. They really like what they see in Brian Thomas. I thought a little bit about maybe we just lock down the run game and get the best running back in the draft here,
Ooh,
but it doesn't make sense because you can get production out of ETN and Bigsby.
yeah.
Um, we don't want to add one more there. So, you know, with this regime, I think you make a statement. You say we're going to invest in the trenches, and Jags go ahead and take Mason Graham, defensive interior.
I love Mason Graham. I think he's one of the safest guys in this draft. Oh, McShay goes tenacious, disruptive interior lineman who plays with explosive burst and immense strength. He boosts the intensity of the entire defensive front. Yeah, I think he's a culture shifter too. I really love him.
Yeah, easy pick.
Yeah, it is an easy pick. We don't need to talk too much about it. The Raiders next. My team, probably my second favorite team in the league. The Raiders. Fucking. There's so many ways that could go here, Drew. Um, we got Genty on our big board, rated the highest, but our scouts and the owner kind of wants us to go Shador Sanders.
Mm,
We got Gino in there on a 2-year deal, I believe. Um, do we build around Gino and try and win, or do we take the long approach? I think we're going to take to try to win now because Pete Carroll's coming. Pete Carroll's coming for that ass, Drew. Give us Ashton Genty. Give us the guy who's the best player in this draft.
mm,
Give us this guy who is Marshawn Lynch 2.0, just a little
mm,
smaller and more shifty. And we're going to pound that rock, Pete Carroll and Gino. Give Gino a run game, man. He's going to be good.
mm.
Gino's going to be good, baby.
I love
Ashton
that.
Genty, baby.
Yeah.
Slippery, big play back with turbocharged acceleration and gyroscopic balance, whatever that means. A creator at the highest level.
I think that makes perfect sense there.
Yeah.
They need a good guy to carry the ball. They could use some O line, but they need a lot of players at a lot of different positions. I like that you roll with Gino for the year. I thought
Uh
you were
huh.
going Shador. You had me totally convinced on that side, but um, I really like where you went with it. Uh,
Yeah.
it's what I would have picked as well.
Yeah. And we'll see, man. There's talk that the Patriots could look at him. There's talk that he could fall. He could fall to the Bears. But yeah, I think most likely scenario is he's a Raider.
Yeah. All right.
All
So
right,
am I on the clock now with the
you're up.
Jets?
The New York Jets, and as Goodell walks to the podium, well, when it used to be in New York every year, Goodell walked to the podium and they just boo his ass. Where's the draft at this year? Do you know?
Green Bay.
Oh, that's right. That'll be
Just
cool.
good old football fans up there.
Hmm.
Well, listen, I mean, here with the Jets. I think we're looking at, you start to look at Tyler Warren and say, man, what a difference maker he could be.
Uh huh.
Throw him in there, and I can even see, Aaron Glenn saying, "Hey, this is our Sam Laporta." They drafted him in the first round, but ultimately, I think Aaron Glenn is one of these guys that says we're first figuring out the trenches. I think he knows the importance of winning in the trenches,
Uh
and
huh.
I think you got to get the nastiest tackle that you can get, or maybe the best pure tackle in terms of he's got those long arms, big big old body. He can protect Fields and sort of let him run around and make full use of the field. And I know
Uh
you
huh.
took Olu Fashanu last year, but he wasn't quite what you were hoping. Maybe kick
Yeah.
him out to right, and I'm putting Armand Membu,
Mimbu, baby. Good
number
pick.
7 to the Jets.
A lot of people like him as the top tackle this year.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the Jets, that'd be smart for them to beef up the O line. Yeah, you're right. They went O line first round last year, but can never have enough. And we'll see if sometimes the tackle has to move the guard. Maybe that's what Fashanu has to do. Maybe Mimbu makes a pick inside, but yeah, and it's kind of funny we get back-to-back New York picks here now, right? With that
Right.
trade.
Yeah.
So we'll keep it to you with the Giants.
Oh,
Oh, let me
I
let me read Mimbu's little thing.
sure.
Wide-bodied offensive lineman with nimble feet, a strong punch, and a penchant for finishing blocks with a fury. Hell yeah.
Love that. Or Jay, so you am I picking for the Giants? I thought you were picking for the Giants.
No, you are because didn't I pick Hunter?
Got it.
Or I don't
Got
I
it.
don't even remember really, but yeah, go ahead. I think you got. I think the floor is yours.
This is fun because on one hand I can sit there and say the Giants need to figure out their quarterback, and
Or
New
no, wait,
York.
Drew, wait. I might be picking because the
Yeah.
Saints are next, right?
Yeah. You pick.
But yeah, you can go ahead. Sorry to cut you off on that.
No,
I
no,
kind
I
of
was
liked where you were
expecting you to
going with
pick there.
that.
I I
Okay.
was I was expecting you to pick there. You do it.
Okay. Okay. Good. With the Giants, kind of what I was talking about with the Browns, kind of the vision I see for that defense with Abdul Carter and Miles Garrett. Well, the Giants already have a pretty good pass rush, man.
Yeah.
And I just look at it, best player available, maybe. They could use Tyler Warren, but a tight end with being a last place team like them, I don't think a tight end would be what you need to do in the first round. Let's go and just double down on the pass rush. Let's go Jalen Walker out of Georgia.
Mm,
And let's just be nasty up front.
love that.
Disruptive, intensity raising defender with pass rush talent and explosive closing speed. I mean, he's an edge rusher out of Georgia. Of course, he's talented. So, yeah, we're happy to get him right there at pick 8. And we get more draft picks in that trade. So,
Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna say you get a couple of first round and a second round probably out of that trade.
uh huh.
So
Yeah.
I love
So
that
let's
pick.
move it to you with the Saints at number 9.
Yeah. Well, listen, Saints. I think we're sitting here saying we're gonna run this pick up there. The Saints, they've had some recent ugliness with Derek Carr. That relationship is deteriorating in front of our eyes. And
Yeah.
the Saints would love nothing more than to take home Shador Sanders and say, we got a guy. who's going to be fun to watch. He's going to
Yes.
be, he's been a winner.
Yes.
He is going to be cost controlled because we're in cap hell.
Yeah, they need that. They need that. That's really that's a big deal. I mean,
It's a huge deal.
we laugh about it, but it's a big deal because they having a stud rookie quarterback, kind of like what the Commanders have right now.
Yeah,
I mean, that would be a godsend for them
it would be.
for their cap situation. So,
It
and
would
I
be.
love this pick. I love him to the Saints. He gets to stay in black and gold like he was in Colorado.
Yeah.
I think this would be a seamless transition. Bring in Taysom Hill sometimes, you know, some trick plays.
It'd be a really fun pick.
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara is still there. It'd be good.
One thing I'm
We're
gonna
gonna.
try. One thing I'm gonna try to do every podcast, Drew, is just try and name drop Taysom Hill at least once.
What a
I
beast
mean, he's the best player in the league.
he is. Best player in fantasy football as well. You can start him at three different positions. Well,
Yeah,
listen,
good
Jay,
pick.
we're gonna throw it to the Bears at number 10.
Yeah, let's go to Chicago. And the two guys we were hoping would still be there was Jim T and Mimbu. They're both not there. And we know with this pick, Michael Lombardi's going to make fun of us. He's going to call us even more of a Madden team than he did last year. But Tyler Warren's sitting there, and he's so damn good. I mean, we're taking him at pick 10. We're
Mm,
not passing on just one of the best tight. We think he could be one of the best tight ends in the league instantly. We know we got Cole Kmet, but has Cole Kmet really proven to be a real difference maker? Like we think Tyler Warren can be? No. Let's get Caleb Williams another weapon. Let's get Tyler Warren in the mix.
I love it.
Uh, Todd McShay. I mean, he really is a Swiss Army knife. He's kind of like Taysom Hill we were just talking about, man. He did a lot of Taysom Hill stuff for the Penn State last year. Just dominated last year, man. He really did. He's really good at the catch point and turns into a runway beer truck with the ball in his hands. That's
I love
that's
that.
fun. That's fitting for McShay. Have you seen that Todd McShay video where he's drunk on the sidelines?
No.
Go- I don't want to air the guy out, and I'm sure he's taking a lot of shit for it. But I think he did used to have a drinking problem.
Oh man.
Go YouTube that Todd McShay drunk sideline. He was doing a sideline report, and he was just slurring his words. It's hilarious.
That is crazy.
Yeah, Tyler Warren. He wears number 44, so it's just kind of a weird number, and I hope they let him keep that. Oh, I hope the Bears let him keep that.
Oh, I love that.
All
Well,
right, we
listen,
got a. Is it the Giants again at pick 11?
no. No, this is the 49ers.
Oh, I don't know why I wrote down Giants. Yeah, let's keep it going with San Fran.
Well, listen, San Fran, I believe we lost Charvarius Ward this year, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he left as a free agent. It's a big gap there in San Francisco, and Lord knows we're going to need it because the Niners, they lost a lot of bulk on their team this year, and this is just
Uh huh.
one hole that we're going to have to plug in the draft. Um, Jay, we're going with Jahdae Barron out of Texas.
Good pick, man. I wanted the Cowboys to get him next pick. Yeah, that's a really good pick. He's my top corner in this draft. I love him.
Yeah.
McShay on him. He's a little down on him. He's got him as 17th on his big board, but fiery, aggressive defensive back with playmaking instincts, ball skills, and the versatility to line up in several spots.
That's what we need.
Yeah, that's a good pick for San Fran. With Dallas next, here we go. What the fuck are we? In real life, I think they're going receiver here. I, I think they need another weapon for Dak.
Ooh.
I mean they do, but I really wanted Jade Barron. I didn't get him. And you know what? We're just going to trust our big board. Next on the big board is Will Johnson out of Michigan, the cornerback. And I think a
Okay.
cornerback, adding a stud cornerback, is just a game changer for the Cowboys. You can put Diggs on the number two. You can move Bland into the slot full time. And there you go. That's the makings of a good secondary. And I like
Yeah.
Will Johnson was, coming into last year, he dealt with some injuries last year, so his stock's kind of fallen. But McShay loves him. McShay's got him as his 10th rated prospect, and he really was kind of like the guy coming into like last summer. Um, he really was the guy going into last year, and so we're just gonna bank on that. He can stay healthy, hopefully. Playmaking defender with the size, instincts, and ball skills to develop into a shutdown corner. He's 6'2". I mean, I love him. He's got shades of Christian Gonzalez in New England.
Well, that would be a godsend for the Dallas Cowboys. They need it.
Yeah, and if those two guys weren't there, I was gonna look at the tackle Josh Simmons out of Ohio State. I think they need to go corner or tackle, but they'll probably end up taking McMillan here or Matt. I guess Matthew Golden didn't even get picked by us, did he?
No, he didn't.
I think he will get picked in the top 12 by somebody.
Wow.
I do. Um, it's just wide receivers have been getting taken so high over the years. I mean, I guess Travis Hunter's a receiver, but it would be kind of. I'd be a little surprised if Matthew Golden fell out of the top 12. Maybe
Wow.
I'm wrong.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I thought about him or McMillan for the Niners, but there was rumors about Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk is still there. So I passed on wide receiver for the Niners, but I thought long and hard about it.
McShay loves McMillan. What I saw a McShay clip saying he doesn't have the dog in him, but he's got McMillan as his fourth rated prospect.
Wow.
So I think there's a lot of intrigue, man, here at the top of this draft. I can't wait to see how it plays out in real life.
Me too, Jay. It's right around the corner.
Yes, sir. Thursday night. Can't get here
Yeah.
soon enough. Oh yeah, let's run through these quarterbacks, Drew. I want to talk about these guys. Watched a lot of them in college, and it's kind of a big class. I mean, you may not say it's good at the top, like, at least compared to years past. It's definitely not what it was last year. But there's how many? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine guys I want to talk about here.
Nice.
And
Well,
I
listen,
think,
Jay, can I throw in there real quick?
yeah,
What I love about this draft is this seems like one of those things where it's to me it's felt like there's some quarterbacks at the top and they go in like the top 10 recently or the top 15,
uh huh,
and then it's like the next one gets taken in the fourth round and he's a career backup or he comes in for a little bit and sucks. I would
yeah,
love I would love to have a draft that it sounds like this draft might be something where you can draft a guy in the second round, the third round, and let him
yeah,
simmer. Put him on the back burner, let him simmer, Let him develop for a year or two, and maybe you bring him in. And I would love if that was
Yeah.
the case.
Yeah, I mean, there's a handful of guys just that fits that bill in this draft. I mean, we'll get to Quinn Ewers, but a guy like Quinn Ewers, man, he was looked at as a first round pick coming into the year. I don't think his tape is that. I was never a huge fan of his, so he's kind of fallen. But
Yeah.
that's like second or third round potentially for a guy that was the. He was like the top quarterback prospect in high school, like the number one guy, and had a good college career. So it may not be elite at the top, but I think it's got good depth, and I'm hoping
Hmm.
these guys all catch on as backups. Because I mean, I root for as many quarterbacks. I mean, I want them all to be awesome. You know, just the fan I am. I don't really. I'm not like you and the Chiefs and other fans where they're so diehard about their own team. I mean, I want all these quarterbacks to be fucking studs.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
I like to root for some people, and I like to vehemently cheer against other people.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. That's the best. I love that. But yeah, let's get it going. The top quarterback for me in this class is going to. I mean, I think it is closer between Ward and Sanders than people are talking about. But
hmm.
it's Cam Ward, Ward to me. I just think he's got a little bit more juice. He's a playmaker. He is a little nonchalant for me, Drew. The way he plays, he just. I sometimes I watched him last year and I thought, man, that's not going to cut it at the next level.
Hmm.
Just some of the nonchalantness to his game. Um, he knows he's good. He's very confident in himself, but I think there might be a little. He's going to have a welcome to the NFL moment for sure,
Hmm.
where he's not gonna be able to get away with what he got away with. But I think he's gonna look good, not great. His rookie year, some highs and lows. Um, but yeah, I see the case. I mean, this guy's you got to respect his journey, Drew. He started at Incarnate Word, worked his way to Washington State, and then worked his way to Miami last year, and now he's gonna be the number one pick in the draft. So
Good for
unbelievable
him.
story. Yeah, we're gonna be rooting for him for sure. He's gonna be a fun fantasy guy too, Drew. He can run. McShay for him. Oh, I think I already read this when we drafted him, but yeah, Cam Ward, man, I think he's going to be a lot of fun to watch. He's a playmaker.
Well, PFF has him at going at 2.3. That's the average ADP. That's probably he'll be number one. That's everything I've heard. So
Yeah.
that seems like
Um,
it's already in the books.
Next up, I got Shadur right there as my number two quarterback in this class. I really like Shadur. Now he's got a tendency to kind of retreat in the pocket, takes way too many sacks. His offensive line wasn't very good at Colorado, but he just take way too many hits, especially especially in 2023. It was
Yeah,
so bad.
it was.
Um, but unless you're Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes, I mean, you just can't retreat in the pocket in NFL like he does. So he's gonna have to learn to kind of deal with that. But he's really good. He's a really good pocket passer, man. He's been around the game his whole life with his dad. He's going to be. I know some people were kind of giving him shit because he is a little cocky. He was saying some shit on social media last off season I didn't really like, especially when they only won like 4 games. I was like, shut the fuck up. But you got to give him credit, man. He had Colorado right there. It looked like they were going to win the Big 12. And that roster had some deficiencies. So I think Shadur Sanders is worthy of a top 10 pick, and I think he's a guy you can build around.
Awesome. No, I would love that.
I know you're a fan of him too. You like the
Yeah.
Colorado thing. You especially love Travis Hunter, but I know you like Shadur too.
I loved watching them. I don't know if they're even going to be my team anymore after losing two of these guys. I don't know if I'll even watch them going forward. But I've been in
Yeah,
love. I've been in love with the Colorado Buffs because of these two guys.
yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And I think Colorado's still going to be worth watching with Dion there. He'll get somebody else in there, but
Yeah,
it's got to be a cool feeling watching his son get drafted high, and then hit Travis Hunter, who's kind of like him as a player. I mean, Dion played a little both ways, and it's got to be such a cool feeling for Dion to see these guys get drafted. Let's keep
yeah.
going, Drew. Jackson Dart. There's been some buzz of Jackson Dart, man. He might go before Sanders, even. I've seen that
Wow.
at a mock draft. I'm not a big fan of his. I'm just,
Mm.
I'm not a big Jackson Dart guy. The system Lane Kiffin runs just elevates quarterbacks, makes them look better than they are. And I just wouldn't use a first rounder on him. I'm not saying he doesn't have anything. He does. He's got some juice, but I just wouldn't use a first round pick on him. I don't think he's worthy of that. I mean, going back 2 years ago, there was a game where I thought he should have got benched for Spencer Sanders, their backup there, who played at Oklahoma State for years. It was the craziest thing, bro. Spencer Sanders had a good career at OSU for like 3 or 4 years, and then he just transferred to Ole Miss to be their backup for no reason. And I was like, they need to play him over Jackson Dart. I didn't, so I don't think Jackson Dart's a starting NFL quarterback. The long and short of it.
Okay.
I like
They
the
have
other
him going to the
guys.
draft.
Yeah, where do they got him on PFF?
Um, PFF. They have him at where is he here? 36.9 is his ADP.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be fine spending like a mid second round pick on the guy, but
But Jay, they invited him to the draft. I mean, he'll be there in
yeah,
person.
yeah, they think like the Steelers or one of those
Mm.
that could be like his floor maybe is the Steelers. So I could
Kenny
see him
Pickett, number
going.
2.
I could see him going in the teens. Um, but I'm just not a big fan. We'll
Yeah,
we'll see how it plays out.
yeah,
Um, Next guy, Drew Tyler Shuck. Now this guy's last name pisses me off, bro.
yeah.
It's spelled like show,
Right.
SHOUGH, but it's pronounced like shuck or something like. I don't even know if I'm saying that. And I've watched the guy. He went to Texas Tech, started his career. I watched him a lot. Transferred to Louisville last year, and he's
Jay,
an
let me
older
ask you:
guy.
is this the guy that I've seen throwing maybe the worst ball I've ever seen at a combine?
I didn't. I didn't end up watching the quarterbacks throw this year.
There's some meme going around. I'm pretty sure it's Tyler Shuck, and with that throw and with the name, I'm already writing this guy off. I'm not going to root for him, and he's going to bust.
Yeah, I kind of am with you, dude. I don't know. I never thought he was that great, but the film guys love this guy, Drew. The guys that are grinding out the film love him. They think he's at least a backup. So we'll see. Where does PFF got him slotted?
Well, let me pull him up here. He's not very pretty. His ADP is 171. Jay.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
The film guys love him, man. I think somebody's gonna take him high. I think somebody could take him a lot higher than that.
Jay, I'm sending you a DM of this this throw is maybe the worst combine rep ever. And this is from Tyler Shuck.
I'll check it out. Next up, Drew Jalen Milroe out of Alabama. I really like this kid, man. He's not a smooth, natural thrower of the football. He's a little too mechanical for me, but and he is a little bit like a guy like Trevor Lawrence, where he's a good athlete, not a good quarterback, but I love his makeup. If you ever watch this guy interview, man, he's got it. He's got it. And I think he's a starter in this league eventually. Maybe not right off the bat. And with all these guys, man, you know this, but with all these guys, especially quarterbacks, what's their situation? You know, who's their quarterback coach? What's their O line like? What's the head coach like? But if Jalen Milrow, I want him to go to Pittsburgh. If he goes
Mm.
to Pittsburgh at 21, that is going to be something, Drew. I think he's going to really thrive in a place like Pittsburgh. You know, playing under Mike Tomlin, I think he could be really good in Pittsburgh. So I want to see that happen. That's what I'm rooting for Thursday night is Jalen Milrow to become a Steeler because he just needs coaching. He just needs coaching, man. He's got the legs, he's got the leadership, he's got the beautiful deep ball. He's got a beautiful deep ball, Drew. I really like Jalen Milrow. He's one of my favorite players in this draft.
Well, it's not so crazy. PFF has him at 53.9.
Uh huh. I think he's going first round.
He
I
could.
think I think the Steelers are going to look at him. If it'll be interesting if him and Dart are both available, who they pick, because I do think they're going to look at quarterback. They should at least.
That would be a fun one.
So yeah, I really like Jalen Milrow, man. I hope he goes to the right situation because I think he could be a star, and he could be a really good fantasy player too with his legs and his deep ball. He's got something, man. It is funny though. He's had some really bad performances at Alabama. Last year, OU dominated him, and
Hmm.
OU was shitty. You know, we did have a good defense, but OU absolutely dominated him. There's been games where he looked really lost and it looked like he's overwhelmed. Like I mentioned, he's a little mechanical the way he throws. But I just think if he goes to a if he falls to the 20s and he can go to a good team, I think he can kind of be plug and play and be serviceable at least.
We'll be watching on Thursday. That seems like the name to look for.
Yeah, yeah, I'm very interested to see where he goes. Kyle McCord up next, Drew, out of Syracuse. I really like Kyle McCord as well. I think he's a sleeper. Um, not a real dynamic guy with his legs. He's a pocket guy, but he really airs it the fuck out. I mean, he's a gunslinger, Drew. I love betting on overs at Syracuse last year because he's either going to air it out and go bang, bang, bang right down the field, or he's going to throw a pick to the other team, and they're going to go right down the field. So I love betting overs with this guy. He was really productive last year, man. I mean, I'm not sure he's got an elite trait, but I think he's going to be a solid backup, and he's going to have some moments in the league because he's not a guy that's going to come in and just manage the game. He's going to try and win. You know, he started his career at Ohio State, and he wasn't bad last year, but they kind of ran him out of town. Um, but I like him a lot, and I just put him in a good system, put a good old line around him. He's going to have some moments, man. Kyle McCord's a guy I'm excited about. You know, he's got something, man. But I got to be careful trying to be in the media opinion game. I got to be critical with these guys, but I just look at the positives in these quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I want them all to succeed. So
Well, listen,
let's let's get him to a good old line, Drew.
there's plenty of teams that could use some guy with a rocket arm that doesn't need to start right away. Maybe look at the Giants as a team that sort of throw him into the mix with Jameis and
Yeah,
Russell. Love that team for him.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and so the guy that they ran him out of town for, Drew, they brought in this guy, Will Howard from Kansas State, Ohio State did. And that's who's up next. Will Howard,
Mm.
big physical guy, has some wear and tear on him. You know, he's been through the wars, national champion, really impressive run in the playoff. I mean, he was very impressive. The reason I didn't bet Ohio State preseason was I was just concerned. I didn't think Will Howard was that level of quarterback, but he proved me wrong. He went out there and he just he just proved a lot of people wrong last year winning the national championship. So you got to give this guy credit. He's not a great processor, and I think that's what's going to keep him as a backup in the league. But he's got a little Gardner Minshew in him. His historical comp, Big Dick Nick Foles. So if he could be a Nick Foles type, I mean, that'd be good, man. I mean, he's a winner. He's a winner like Nick Foles. He's not. I'm not as high on him as I am McCord, but where do they got him going?
He is at 104.5. Will Howard.
Late third round
Yeah,
or early fourth round. Yeah, that feels right. What about? Did I ask you about McCord?
he's 170. Jay.
Woo!
Yeah.
He's going in the third round at least.
Mm.
I can't be the. There's a few other guys I listen to. That Cowherd really likes McCord. He's his sleeper this year, and Colin Cowherd's pretty good with these quarterbacks. He's pretty good at knowing who's going to work and who's not, and he likes Kyle McCord. But Will Howard, he's a backup at least.
Yeah.
He's not a good enough processor to be a real starter, but he's a backup. And then two more guys, Drew. These are two guys I watched a ton of. Both played at OU in Texas. First, Dylan Gabriel, former Sooner, left-hander. Um, Transferred out of OU. We really could have used him last year. Transferred out to go to Oregon. Took them to an undefeated record. They lost to Ohio State in the playoff, but phenomenal year. Dylan Gabriel's played a lot of ball. I really think he can help somebody out. He's just really
Yeah.
small. That's kind of the knock on him. He can use his legs though. He does, but I just don't see him being able to have that same escapability at the next level. But this is a guy that's played a ton of ball, won a ton of games. He can process well. He's 25. He's kind of a smaller Tua to me,
Mm.
but you put him in a West Coast offense with some short intermediate throws, and he might be able to keep you afloat for a while. Where's PFF got him going?
PFF has him at 142.6.
Okay,
You know,
so fifth round territory.
just a team that just sort of popped into my head here is like the Chargers, LA Chargers with Harbaugh.
Yeah.
You know, just the way Herbert plays, he's always kind of getting injured with something. You know, maybe he
Uh
fits
huh.
fits in there. Harbaugh says, "I don't care about his height, weight. We'll put him to good use here."
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. I could also see the Niners.
Yeah,
You know, they're in this. It doesn't look like they'll ever get rid of Brock. It looks like they like Brock Purdy and they want to pay him, but you know, I think he could work with Kyle Shanahan. They even say his comp is Brock Purdy, just kind of left-handed version, and Kellen Moore as the historical comp. And then to close this out, Drew, we'll go with Quinn Ewers out of Texas. Bum. Just kidding. I like Quinn Ewers. He's got a ton of arm talent. quick release. He's Quinn Ewers kind of has this 3/4 quarters Philip Rivers type delivery to him
Hmm.
with his throwing motion. He was the highest rated quarterback prospect of all time. We talked about that. He played the NIL game beautifully. I mean, he was really one of the first quarterbacks to get breaded up with the NIL stuff. He went to Ohio State out of high school. Sure, he got millions to go there. He actually graduated early. He like forewent his senior year of high school.
Wow.
Graduated early, went to Ohio State, got millions, then transferred to Texas. He sat for a year, I think, behind Sam Ellinger and waited his time, and then he had what 3 years under Sarkeesian, I believe.
Yeah. I've
Um,
just been waiting for freaking Manning to get in there, and every time Manning's got in, he's been electric. I hate Quinn.
yeah, and my take on Texas last year was they needed to play Arch if they wanted to win at all,
It really has made
because
me hate Quinn Ewers.
yeah, I'm not a Quinn Ewers fan, and maybe it's I'm probably a little biased being such a big OU fan, but I just he's kind of a fuck. I always thought he's kind of a fuck, but then he did go and cut his mullet 2 years ago and started playing better, and so I kind of had to respect that. But and coming into the year, he was kind of seen as a first round pick, but I just don't see that. I see him as like a day two project for somebody. Where do they got Quinn going?
Yeah, I mean, he's down there at 152.3.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, I think he'll go before
You
that.
think?
I think he will. Yeah, I think second or third round for him. But I don't think the tape probably did him very well throughout kind of draft season because just watching him as closely as I did, he's not a starter in the league. I don't think. I think he can be a good backup though. I think he can be a really good backup,
Yeah.
and he could be a back end starter. Like a bridge quarterback type, kind of like Geno we were talking about with the Raiders. I could see him having a Geno Smith type career,
Yeah.
but I'm not big on him. He's got great arm talent though. He can move a little bit, so we'll see where he goes with all these guys. That's Can't wait. I hope they all go to good situations, man. Because what's your quarterback room like? What's your offensive coordinator like? What's your O line like? What's your receivers like? It's just so huge for these guys. But yeah, that's gonna do it. I did want to give out one bust and one sleeper for the
Let's
draft
hear him.
overall, Drew. And then we'll move into principals with Porter. For my bust this year, I'm going with Shamar Stewart out of Texas A&M,
Wow.
the defensive lineman. We talked about him. I think he's maybe a late first round, early second round type of guy, but I just don't think he has a high enough motor, Drew. He doesn't play hard enough. He doesn't play hard enough. He doesn't have the instincts either to have a real impact at the next level. So I think he's my bust. I think somebody's going to waste a high pick on him Thursday night.
I bet
Sleeper.
Big Dom has probably crossed him off his list.
Fucking big dog. For my sleeper, we're going with a guy we talked about last podcast, Drew, a running back, Raheem Rocket Sanders. I mean, this is my guy.
Mm.
I'm sorry, but he's going to be a starting running back for somebody. And I know he's projected late in the draft, may not even get drafted, but I love this. I love Rocket Sanders. He may not have a long shelf life in the league, but he's going to give somebody some real juice for a couple years at least, and I hope he gets paid because he's one of these running backs that really just sacrificed himself for the college.
Yeah,
You know, he was just a bell cow for South Carolina and left it all out on the field. So Raheem Rocket Sanders, starting running back in this league. You heard it here first on Find Your Inner Pirate.
love it. I love reaching out there a little bit. You know, that's not
Yeah,
one I've ever heard before. So now he's on my mind.
yeah.
Yeah,
I hope he gets drafted somewhere cool.
awesome.
Um, all right, man. That's what we got for some draft talk. Let's get into some other type of draft talk with Porter here, with little principles of Porter. We got some best ball talk.
We do, Jay.
Is that where we're headed?
We and it, there's a little announcement, I guess, as part of it. It's so I want to bring some stats to the program over here,
Let's
and
do it.
we're gonna be, you know, this is sort of where I indulge in let's call it betting or drafting. I get into this best ball fantasy, and so why not this year
Uh huh.
put in a new damn principle that I've always kind of done this, but I've never officially done it right after the draft. But Jay, this is a brand new principle over here. One thing I'm going to do every year going forward. Right after this
Hell yeah.
draft on Friday, I'm going to print out 32 depth charts from 32 different
I love it.
teams. This is the first principle is right after the draft, print out the depth charts and go team by team. And I need to put my intuition in there and say, who's going to be the starting running back, you know, here in Denver?
Uh
And
huh.
let's say they added a rookie to the mix, and we're going to look at who they've already got. And I'm going to sit there and kind of place out the depth charts or look what they've got on ourlads.com. It's a great resource
Yeah.
for this. And Jay, I'm also going to get 4 highlighters. Okay. And
Uh
for
huh.
each,
Color
I'm going
code.
to color code these. So once I get all 32 depth charts, I'm going to get 4 highlighters. And for each position group, I'm going to get, uh, you know, the pink highlighter is going to be top 10 finisher. And I'm going to go
Uh
through
huh.
every single team and I'm going to pick out 10 running backs that are just, they're in clear position. They've got no one behind them, you know, like a Derrick Henry last year. You should have put him in pink highlighter. There was nobody that was going to
Yeah.
share the ball with Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley. These guys that were just the
Uh huh.
clear number one for their team. You
Yeah.
can do that for quarterback, for wide receiver, for tight end, for running back. I'm going to do top 10 finishers in one color.
Are you only gonna do 10 of them per position,
Only
or are
10.
you gonna get it,
I'm only going to make,
or is it like a
yeah,
okay?
10 marks with my pink. Listen, I'm going to do it how I'm going to do it here. I'm going to make 60 marks per position, or maybe decrease it a little for quarterback and tight end. But
Uh huh.
60 marks. Going to be top 10 finisher is one color. Solid, reliable
I
point
love it.
scorer is another color. You look at someone
Uh huh.
like a Jerry Judy or someone that you can sit there and look at and say he's going to score points all year. And
Mike Evans.
and and you want to look for basically people that fall on the depth chart where there's nobody behind them. It's like, hey, look at this.
Uh
You know,
huh.
this guy's the clear, he's going to be the number one option for them at whatever position. We kind of saw Bo Nix and Derek Carr as this guy last year that is sort of like,
Uh
hey,
huh.
he's going to score points all freaking year. There's no one behind him. So that'll be one color is solid, reliable point scorer. There's going to be another color called have questions.
Yeah.
I don't know where this player falls. I have questions. This is last year the Green Bay wide receiver group. They would
Yeah.
kind of all be labeled with this color. Um, or I would have put
It's a good idea.
Debo Samuel on there. So there's going to be that color, and then the last color is going to be they're off my board. I don't trust him. I don't like him. And I think there's a rookie behind him that's going to take him over. This guy is off my board. And I'm going to make marks over up and down all of the depth charts with these colors. Okay, so
I love it. I love it.
that's one principle I'm going to do this year.
That's gonna help you a ton in
It's
drafting.
going to help me a ton, and it's going to help the podcast because I'm going to turn these into graphics. These are my
Oh
top
yeah.
10 guys for this year. These are my off the board guys for this year. Those graphics will be controversial, I think. And
Uh
I'm going to
huh.
bring the data to the pod as we break down player by player. I'm going to reveal their color of what I have them as.
Right on.
And so,
Yeah, I wish they would add some sort of technology on X where we could upload shit, and kind of put it in the background on here.
yeah, that
But
would be nice.
maybe they will. Maybe they will in the future.
Well, you know how we do it. I mean, we kind of pick a tier of players and we talk them through. And I'm gonna be
Uh huh.
talking about them really as like, hey, this is a guy that I have questions about, or this is a guy that I feel is a reliable point scorer, or you know what, Jay, he's off my board. I marked him as this, and really from there you're just going to follow the question marks and try and find an answer to them. But
Uh
I
huh.
feel like this is going to be a great new process. That's my first principle, and I hope everyone does this. I think this is a great principle to do if you're getting into best ball.
Yeah.
My next one,
Yeah. So I'm thinking. I'm already thinking for next week, Drew. We should get on Sunday again, and we can kind of do a draft post mortem, kind of talk about shit that happened, and then we can really kind of because I want to be in on these drafts
yeah,
next week already if I can. Maybe wait. I might have to wait another week, wait for another paycheck, but
yeah,
at least get a little. I'll at least get a little something in next week and start drafting. But yeah, we can do a little kind of a draft or best ball preview type episode. Maybe next Sunday night. But yeah, this is gonna that I'm excited for you to do
yeah.
that. That'll be a lot of fun.
I'm
I can't wait to. You'll have to send me the Cowboys and some funny teams. You'll have to send me what their depth charts looking
all
like with the
right.
color codes.
All right, sounds good. So that'll be a fun little exercise, and that's going to be a new principle that I do, and I'm going to hopefully bring some new, some legitimacy from my end, uh, with some official rankings and sort of, draw a line in the sand on these players and make some
Yeah.
bold predictions, turn them into some graphics. This will be good for
Oh
social
yeah.
media, I think. Okay, so that's one.
100%.
Jay, my next principle that I'm going to do is when you're ready to start drafting, okay, then you didn't look at the ADP chart of where players are getting picked on underdog. You didn't look at it yet. You blocked it out and you filled out your depth chart and you marked it up with
Uh huh.
highlighter. Now is where you bring in the underdog ADP chart. And now you're going to start transferring over the highlighter marks. And boom, what you're looking for is you're looking for guys that are low down that are like, hey, this guy I have no questions about. I had him high on the depth chart. He's going to be a point scorer all year long for me. I'm going to draft the shit out of this guy. So that's going to
Yeah.
be the next move is don't look at the ADP just yet. Wait and bring it in after you've filled out that depth chart and highlighted it up. Then you're going to
Uh
transfer
huh.
all of those highlighter marks over to the ADP list. And that's how I'm going to do my drafts this year. Very
I love
deliberate with
that.
it.
Yeah, that sounds like you got a really good process. I'll be here to help you too if you need a resource. Well, like, hey, what and I think that'll be a good thing for us. We were texting earlier. I think it'll be a good little segment for us to do after the draft is just kind of going over these depth charts and kind of just talking about what's going on with this situation, this position group. Where's this team weak at? I think that'll be good to talk about it. That'll help me a ton when we get to division preview season, just to kind of already have that in my mind, kind of the depth charts and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be a ton of fun. I love it. Principals reporter. I just sit down in class and I take notes and I just learn, about best ball. So you got anything else?
No, that's what I got for this week, Jay.
Sweet. I love it. Oh, also kind of a new segment for us. Meal of the week, Drew. I'll start us off. It's 4:20. It's kind of funny. It's 4:20 today. And my meal of the week this week was Stoner's Pizza Joint in Dallas. There's Where was it? No, it was in Rowlett. In Rowlett, Texas. Stoner's Pizza Joint. Shout out to them. Hashtag legalize marinara.
I love that.
I got me a nice little buffalo chicken pizza. At first, I was gonna do hand tossed crust, but the guy was like, "Hey, man, you want a little insider tip? Do the thin crust." And I was like, "All right, bet." Little thin crust buffalo chicken pizza. I got a small, but it was still pretty big, and I downed the whole thing in Stoner's Pizza Joint, and they had the Flintstones on. I was just watching the Flintstones.
Man, I love a good local pizza joint. I've tried
So
every
good.
single one in Chattanooga.
Yeah, yeah. There's nothing better.
Yeah.
You got something for meal of the week?
I do, Jay. It's it's gonna sound a little bit underwhelming, but this is a magical time every year for me. Masha and I this weekend we went up to the Amish farm
Uh huh.
here in Chattanooga. It's a whole
That's awesome.
it's a whole Amish family up there. As you're driving in, it's all horse and buggy.
That's
There's no
beautiful.
there's no cell phones, no cars, no sunglasses. Everyone just farms the land up there.
Yeah.
And we went through and we got all our plants for the garden, but we also go shopping there. They've got sort of they pick veggies and fruits, and they even bake some stuff. And so we got this tomato bread, which they have. And Jay, it's so damn good. And I
Sounds
mixed
good.
this today's breakfast. I toasted up some tomato bread, and
Oh, baby.
I cooked up some homegrown chicken eggs from our backyard. And it's just my meal of the week is just that. It's freaking Amish tomato bread and my backyard eggs. I was just in love with that breakfast this morning, Jay.
That sounds great, dude. I'm not a big tomato guy, but I would try out some tomato bread.
Yeah.
Sounds sounds like it hit the spot for you. Shout out to Amish people.
I'm a big fan of that community.
Hey man, as long as they're happy doing what they do,
Yeah.
what it's not our place to tell them they're not living right. I mean, they probably think we're living wrong.
That's absolutely it. I mean, they're like, "Hey, listen, I know how to work the soil better than you. I'm freaking awesome at working the soil. I can build my own home, I can grow my own food, I can be happy without the external stimuli." They're
Yeah,
they're doing good there in the Amish community.
good for them, man. I didn't know they had a little community there in Chattanooga.
Yeah.
Good for them, man. Yeah, let's move into find your inner pirate.
Awesome.
I'll let you keep going. I'll let you start us off with find your inner pirate.
Well, listen, Jay, you heard me talk about how I thought Russell Wilson, I said he was walking the plank, and
Uh huh.
and it was because of his opening press conference, and I thought he should have been a little bit more humble and sort of like say, "Hey, I think I've still got something in the tank. I'm here to compete."
Yeah.
Well, He didn't do that press conference, but you know who did?
Jameis.
No, Joe Flacco. Joe
Flacco.
Joe Flacco spoke to the media this week, and he was locked in. He was laser focused, and he said, "I think I've still got something left in the tank." And he said,
Right.
"And I know the reason why I'm coming back this year is I know I would regret it someday if I knew I had it in me and that I didn't go at it and play." So
Hell
look,
yeah.
he said, and I love his honesty. He said, they said, "Are you going to try and be a mentor to Kenny Pickett?" He said, "I've never thought of myself and wanted to even be a mentor. I really have no interest in that, but I've found that people end up learning from me. So I have no problem with it if someone can learn from me."
Uh huh.
And he said, "I'm here to compete. I don't expect to be the starter, but I think I can do it and I think I will do it." And he said, "Mainly, I also have some kids at the house right now, and I need to get the hell out of the house."
Yep.
And it
Feel
just
that.
it hit it for me, man. I listened to that and I said, this guy's going to be starting this year for the Browns. He's going to get some real good playing time, I think. And I think he's also going to win some games. And
Yeah, you might.
and I like the move, and I think he's going to be a leader in the clubhouse. Just the way he laid it out. He is authentic right now, and I think he does have some left in the tank, and I think he's going to get some buy-in from those Browns.
Love it. The city of Cleveland could use some positivity. The
Yeah, they
Browns.
could.
We'll see if they add Travis Hunter. We'll see what that looks like. But yeah, shout out to Joe Flacco, man. Hope he gets another shot. I mean, he's such a cerebral guy. He should be able to age pretty gracefully. I know it was so awesome how he got to the playoffs a couple years ago. That was insane.
It was.
So now he's back in Cleveland. He's got good vibes there. So let's get him back. Let's get him back to the playoffs. Um, for me, Drew, I actually had Kenny Pickett staying with the Browns. Kenny Pickett said not going there to hang out. He thinks he's winning that job. I thought that was funny. He's not going there to hang out.
Yeah. Well, we'll
uh,
see.
a little music action, Drew. You know Jack Harlow, right?
No.
Dude, I love Jack Harlow. He's a white rapper. I'm a Harlow head now. I love this guy. He's got some
Awesome.
pretty popular hits. He's pretty popular, but he was really cool. I've been listening to him a lot this week. I got Grok 3. Shout out to Grok 3. Grok 3 Mini achieved a perfect score on reasoning tests.
Hmm.
So that's pretty cool. Um, and yeah, it looks like I think that's it for me. Yeah. Uh, walking the
I love
plank
those shout
time.
outs.
Walking the plank. For me, Drew, walking the plank scams. I talk to you about this scam I was trying to get involved in. Um, so this early this week, I'm looking for little side hustles and whatnot. I got this text from this recruiter, Core Scientific Bitcoin. They got me in as a Bitcoin miner, and I did a
Oh,
little bit.
no.
I did a little bit. Long story short, I did a little bit, made a couple $100, but then it got to a point Friday where they were asking me to put in way too much. They're asking me to put in over $800, and the hope would be that after I did that, I would end my Bitcoin order, and then I would get about $2,000 sent to my Bitcoin address. I was like, that's way too high stakes for me. I got out of there with a couple $100 profit for the week, though.
There you go.
So walking the plank scams. What do you got?
Scams. Oh my
Yeah,
god, I love both of your inner pilot and
I'll
walking.
talk to you more about it in person next time.
Sounds good. Oh, I love that. Well, listen, Jay, for me, I mean, this week I have a team walking the plank.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Jay, it's the Miami Dolphins. The vibes aren't good over there.
They're not.
Here's what the Miami Dolphins did. Which, by the way, the news this week is that they're going to trade Jalen Ramsey. It's announced. They said they're done with him. They need to move
Yeah.
on. Um, the thing is, Jay, they paid him. So they've already given him a lot of guaranteed money as a signing bonus, and they're just going to eat it on the cap.
Oh
And
god.
it doesn't line up, Jay, because and I think also they're going to do something with Tyreek. You remember Tyreek's end of the season press conference?
Yeah.
It
And he
was
tweeted, he
nasty.
was like, "Get me out of here."
Yeah, it was nasty. And the vibes aren't good over there, Jay. They went after stars. They tried to sign a team of stars all in an off season, and now they're undoing it. The stars are leaving. The stars
Yeah.
won out, and it didn't work, and it just looks like a sinking ship over there, Jay.
Yeah, the
Um,
vibes are off for sure in Miami. And I hate it because I want McDaniel to succeed. He's such a good character for the league. But
he
it feels
is.
like his ass is going to be on the hot seat this year.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But he is a hell of an offensive guy. Somebody will get a great coordinator in him if he doesn't pan out as their head coach.
Yeah.
But with Miami, I think you're right. The vibes are off. That's a sneaky tough division they're in. Especially if Drake May pans out.
Hmm.
It's just not easy being in Josh Allen's division. So yeah, Miami, and they're paying Tua a lot of money. And you mentioned the Jalen Ramsey thing. He'll probably be a draft day trade, I assume, if not before.
I don't know if they're going to be able to get rid of him.
Yeah,
It's a big salary that he's got.
the Cowboys need to go after him if they don't draft a quarterback high.
Yeah.
I'd love him in Dallas, but we'll see. We'll see, man. This was a hell of a podcast. You got anything else before we get out of here?
Jay, I'm just excited for Thursday night. I'm going to be tuning into the draft spectacular with Pat McAfee.
Hell yeah.
It's always a fun time over there. I just love this time of year. I'm excited for it.
I wish they could get Belichick on there again. He's not doing it, is he?
No, but he added a lot to the program last year. They'll get somebody.
Yeah.
They'll have a good time. They even one year had this lady who just came out in the draft, and she was like a hired act that they brought in, and she would throw these buckets onto her head, and she was riding a unicycle and throwing buckets onto her
Oh,
head.
I've seen that. I've seen that
She
before.
balanced like 9 buckets up there, Jay. It was
That's
crazy.
crazy.
They do some
That's
awesome
awesome.
stuff there. They had Oz the Mentalist last year. He came in and he
Yeah.
ended up predicting the picks. It was crazy.
That's beautiful.
So
I'll have
we'll
to
see
check
what
it out. I'll have to check some of it out. I watch NFL Network because I love Jeremiah so much. I love hearing what his takes. But yeah, I'll have to tune into Pat a little bit, see what they got going on.
I'll let you know if anything interesting is going on over there. I'll be able to give you the play by play.
Hell yeah. I can't wait for it, man. I can't wait for next week already. We'll be in best ball season.
Yeah. And I also will say it seems like the Chiefs, there's a lot of buzz around Josh Simmons.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if they're even going to be in a position to draft him, but it seems that they're
Uh huh.
looking to trade right above Houston. There's been
Okay.
a lot of chatter about a trade up with the Chiefs and for Josh Simmons is
That would be
specifically it. So,
huge. That would be huge. Yeah, you guys got to get a. You got to come out of this draft with a left tackle that you at least think can be a starter. You know.
yeah.
So yeah, tackle, tackle, tackle for the Chiefs. I was thinking the other day. I was like, man, they should just draft all tackles. Why not? I mean, the team is so good. I know you can't. You always got to look at the future, but just why not draft like 5 or 6 O linemen?
It would be awesome. We'll see. We have some other holes around. We definitely will leave the draft with some defensive ends. I really love Brett Veach, the Chiefs GM. He did an interview this week and was just totally candid,
Uh
sort of
huh.
about where he sees defensive end as a strong, strong class. Cornerback is
Yeah.
a strong class. Running back is strong, but it's he sees it that you could get a great running back in like the third or fourth round. He was just
I'm
candid as
telling you,
hell about
man.
where he sees players, and we'll see if
Quinshawn Jud- Quinshawn Judkins is my guy in that running back class. I
Ooh,
really think he's gonna pop second or third round pick. I really think he's gonna pop for somebody. Yeah, these running backs. I keep that'll be like what we mainly have to talk about next week is where did the running backs go?
yeah,
Because last
that's
pod
it.
I believe we talked about like 12 to 15 of them, and I even left out a couple. I mean, it's going to be so interesting to see where they go.
Yeah, I'm watching
Yeah,
the
next week will
Broncos.
be a hell of a one to look at. Yeah,
Yeah, it will.
Broncos are a good one. But
The
yeah, man,
Browns.
have a good week. Go swing your sword, brother.
Fuck yeah, Jay. We'll see you next week after it's over.
All right, have fun Thursday.
All right, you too, man. Later.